Hi everybody, this is Alex from Untitled Travel, and I am very excited because in just a couple of days I am leaving to Kilimanjaro to climb the highest freestanding mountain in the world. So today's video, I'm going to share with you my complete gear list that I have assembled for my Kilimanjaro trip. I've gone to Kilimanjaro before, as some of you probably know, and unfortunately I did not make it the first time. I hope I'm going to make it this time. I got sick the first time. I did not take my Diamox. So I pretty much know exactly what I have to take on this trip, and I just want to share everything with you and give you all the details so you can have a successful climb to Kilimanjaro and avoid forgetting anything that you may need for your climb. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the basic thing that you're going to need. The basic thing you need is a travel bag, and I'm just using any kind that has a little trolley bag here, and that's what I'm going to be using to travel to Kilimanjaro. However, what you need for the porters, and this is very important, you need a waterproof bag, okay? You do not want to have any of your gear get wet. So inside my travel bag, I'm just going to put all my gear into this bag and it'll be ready to go. And anything that I'm going to keep beyond my trip, let's say I want to go on a safari or I want to go to the beach or whatever, I'm just going to pack that to the side of my main bag. So when I get to Kilimanjaro, I just got to take this one out and I'm ready to go. So make sure you have a waterproof bag, duffel bag that is ultra lightweight, so you can put more weight in here because all the porters have a maximum that they can carry. It's usually around, depending what outfit you go with, but it's anywhere between 25 and 32 kilos. So keep that in mind. Try to weigh your bag if you think it's a little bit too heavy, and this is what we're going to pack. So beyond these, you're going to need a day pack. And what I use as my day pack is just a simple backpack. And in this backpack, I'm able to place my camo bag, which goes right into the backpack, and I can have this all day. And then with my camo bag, what I do is I always take some Vega Sport or any other powdery recovery drink or energy drink that I can put, because they treat your water and it tastes kind of nasty. So I'll do that. In addition to my camo bag though, I also utilize a filtered water bottle. And that's for me very important because let's say something goes wrong and you need a filter. The Sawyer filter is really, really strong. It supposedly filters out 99% of all bacteria, not viruses though. So keep that in mind. And that is, I think, for your day pack, the most important thing that you're gonna have on a daily hike: your camo bag and of course your water bottle. So let's go over what you're going to be utilizing every day for your climb to Kilimanjaro. And there's a couple things that I swear by that I highly recommend that you follow my suggestion. Okay? It's just a suggestion. In any case, make sure you have broken in boots. Okay? You want to have good hiking boots that are waterproof, that are broken in. And by broken in, what I mean is you have used them at least 5-6 times on long hikes. I would say at least 4 or 5K hikes or even longer. So make sure that your boots are well broken in. They're all weather, and you want to make sure that your boots go over your ankle for extra support. So your boots, number one in my book. In addition to the boots, I highly suggest that you get gaiters, a good pair of gaiters, and you place these gaiters from the beginning of your trek. As soon as you start going into the rainforest in Kilimanjaro, you're going to either get wet or you're going to get dirty, and you want to keep your pants as clean as possible so you don't have to take 50 pairs with you. So I think gaiters are very important. Get a good pair, take them with you, should be on your packing list. So we have boots, we have gaiters. Let's stay with the feet. What I do is I take liner socks. These are just very thin liner socks. You can buy them on Amazon or wherever you want. And I'm going to use one for each major day that I go up. So the first couple of days are really nothing major, but after that, the last, I would say 4 days, you want to make sure you have fresh feet. So these liner socks, I take 4 pairs. It gives you at least 4 days of good solid liner socks. maybe even more, but I'll explain you in a second why you need at least 4. And it's something that I think you should invest in, and they don't weigh anything, so take extra socks. Then, so in the beginning, I just have regular, nothing too thick, comfortable hiking socks. And then as I go up in altitude, I utilize some warmer socks. Okay, so I have one pair of warmer socks. And as it gets even higher, another pair that is just a little bit warmer. And again, these socks, since you are wearing liners, you can wear them, twice, 3 times in a row. You might think this is a little bit of overkill, but socks and underwear, and I'll get to that in a second, I think are very important. And then finally, there are some other liners and other socks that I'm going to be utilizing for my summit, but I want to keep all that for my summit night. So we're done with our socks, we're done with our shoes. Let's go into the next category, underwear. Well, whether you're a male or female, I think it goes for either one. You need to take something that's a little bit long and goes down at least somewhat into the middle part of your legs. And the reason you want this is as you're going to be hiking, the friction of your skin, if it's not protected, is going to rub against each other and you're going to get a rash and who knows what. So keep in mind to take some good underwear, something that's going to be a dry fit, that's going to try to keep you as dry as possible. And then of course, I'm using one for every day. I'm not going to use underwear 2 times in a row. Some of you may want to do that. I don't. And I think it's just a personal preference. One a day is good enough. It's very light. So that's the underwear. Okay. So what are we utilizing for hiking? I'm sure you've seen some videos where some hikers utilize shorts. Now, you can really only use shorts in Kilimanjaro the first day, maybe 2 days. Beyond that, you're gonna have to wear long pants. I rather just take 2 or 3 hiking pants and of course layers. So underneath my hiking pants, in the beginning, I'm just gonna use loose, comfortable hiking pants like this. And then of course thermos if need be as I gain in altitude. The same thing goes with your shirts. You're gonna have a base layer shirt, then you're gonna have a medium layer, you can have a heavy layer beyond that, or you could have a fleece jacket. And then of course you can have your summit jacket when you go there. So everything is about layers when you climb Kilimanjaro or any other mountain for that fact. You want to have a lot of layers that you can add or take off at any time. And you might want to keep some in your day pack and then the rest in your main gear. You're going to have a base layer, then you're going to have a mid layer, then you're going to have a heavier layer, and then beyond that you're going to have your fleece or your jacket or whatever the case might be. And you're going to be utilizing that both for your legs and for your upper body. You really don't need too many layers in the first couple of days of Kilimanjaro, but then as you gain in altitude, the temperatures drop and you will need these base layers. So here is my list of all the base layers that I have. So these are your primary clothing articles that you want to take. And in addition to this, you need to have a rain jacket and rain pants. Gotta always have that. And especially in the beginning, the first few days, you want to make sure you have your rain jacket and your rain pants inside your day pack. Your chances of getting wet or getting rained on, especially when you go through the rainforest in the beginning, are very high, hence they call it rainforest. So you gotta make sure you have a rain jacket and rain pants as well. In addition to that, I wear, of course, I have 2 sets of sunglasses. I take one for summit day or summit night, okay, and then one just regular, also in case one breaks. And then I also utilize for my check-in always a hat. You want to make sure that you're protected from the sun. In addition to that, I also have a face mask that I use, and I take a face mask for the simple reason that I just want to be protected from the dust, and I also want to be protected from the sun. So this just basically slips over your head, and you can utilize it, like I said. So that's part of my hiking, my regular everyday hiking gear. And I have some gloves for my everyday hiking as well, especially as you go up in altitude. Your hands are gonna get a little bit colder, so I wear 1 set of gloves. And then of course I have my hiking poles. Some people may not utilize hiking poles. I personally do like them. Maybe not all the time, but there's certain times when I use them, especially when you're coming down from the mountain and you're going through the rainforest. It's quite slippery, so they really help you stabilize yourself. I think These poles are important. So that's basically all your primary hiking gear that you need on a daily basis. And the next thing I want to get into is your summit gear. It's specialized gear that you need just for summit night. So what I do is I pack that in a different bag within my bag, just to have everything ready for summit night. For summit night, I have a different scarf or mask, whatever you want to call it, that I'll be utilizing. Of course, I have a warm hat because it's going to be very cold. You're going to be starting in the middle of the night. I have a different set of thermals, which are also quite warm. I have my fleece. I have my thick jacket, which I can also utilize during the day in other occasions if I have to. And beyond that, I have my regular thick pants. These are actually skiing pants that I utilize for summit night. In addition to that gear for summit night, I have a special layer of thermal socks that are thin but heat absorbing, and very thick socks that I utilize in combination for summit night. I also use for summit night, just in case, okay, some toe warmers. You only need 2, okay, and some super hand warmers just in case. In addition to this, I will also have 1 set of very thick gloves. Again, summit night, depending on what time of the year you're going. I'm going in September, but it can get down to 20 below 0. So I utilize mitts because they keep your hands warmer, and yeah, that's what I'm using for summit night. Additionally, you need a good headlamp. Okay, I don't utilize this headlamp during regular nights just to conserve my batteries. So what I have is I have an additional flashlight that I take with me, 1 or even 2. And this particular flashlight I can just hang from my tent or whatever I might want to do. So this is really not summit night gear, but this flashlight is. For summit night, this is all the gear that you need. And finally, I want to tell you what you're going to need on a daily basis for your personal hygiene in your tent and when you're actually resting once you've hiked all day long. So after you've been hiking all day long and you get to your tent, the first thing you're going to want to do is take off your hiking boots and change into different clothing. You've probably been sweating and you just want to get freshened up a little bit. So I suggest that you take a separate pair of very, very comfortable shoes, and then your clothing that you're probably going to be sleeping in and relaxing in every day. I have a distinct pair or a different pair of socks that I'm going to be utilizing, and just my sleep gear, what I'm going to be sleeping in every single day, that I want to keep as clean as possible. And again, within my bags, I'm going to put this in a different bag to just keep it away from smelly other stuff. Obviously, you need your sleeping bag, and make sure it's rated enough for, especially when you're at the altitude, it's going to be a few degrees below 0 Celsius. So you want to make sure that your sleeping bag is rated properly. And I personally, and this is probably overkill, I have a little tiny pillow that I can blow up. It doesn't weigh anything. I take it, you know, if you are used to sleeping with a pillow every night, it might be something that you want to consider. And I've never seen that in any videos, and I just thought about it one day. I've taken this pillow with me to other places, to the Himalayas, to Everest Base Camp and Manaslu, and it's I love it. I sleep very well with it. So in addition to this, I have a little bag where I put all my dirty clothes. So once I utilize my socks or my underwear that I don't want to mix with anything else because of the smelly substances that you find, it's just a good idea to separate them into a different bag and try to keep all your other gear fresh. All right, what else do you need for your tent and your rest time? Very important, you need a good towel. I utilize a type of microfiber towel that dries very quickly. And by the way, in addition to this microfiber towel, I have another towel that I utilize every day during trekking that I just put in my pants or something to, you know, clean my glasses, wipe down sweat, whatever I need. So this is very important as well. In addition to the towel though, I also use wipes. You gotta make sure you have some wipes with you just to clean your private areas. I have dude wipes here. They are 48 wipes and they should be plenty. I'm also taking on this trip, and I wouldn't usually take this, but because of COVID-19 and what's going on in the world, I'm taking antibacterial hand wipes that have 90% or whatever alcohol, or 70% alcohol, but they kill 99% of all germs, so they say. So I'm taking that. Just your porters are going to be handling your equipment. They're going to be setting up the tent for you. It's a good idea to just wipe down everything before you go into your tent on a daily basis because of the COVID-19. Going back to what I want when I get into my tent. Obviously, you need all your personal hygiene gear. Make sure that you utilize something where you can keep your toothpaste separate. This is a little bit overkill. I'm going to take some things out. I just wanted to show that you do need your personal hygienist kit. I highly suggest that you also go with a portable toilet when you book your trip with your tour operator to Kilimanjaro. But even though during the night, especially if you've taken Diamox or something, you probably will have to wake up a few times and utilize the toilet. As it gets colder in the higher altitudes, I learned a trick a few years ago when I went to the Himalayas, and it was actually in Manaslu, and it was so cold outside that I just didn't want to get up and go outside anymore. So I heard that you can buy this pee bottle, which is this right here, and it expands. So you can pee in there at night, and they have for male and female. You can buy it on Amazon, and it closes, and then you just empty it out in the morning. And of course, you'll need some water to clean it, and I've got my alcohol wipes, so I'm taking it just in case. I think it's always good to have it, and it doesn't weigh anything, so just a suggestion. I also take with me some of my favorite snacks that I have. As I gain in altitude, usually I always get some kind of altitude sickness, and of course, one of the first things that you lose is your appetite. And even though you have cooks and some of them do a tremendous job, I think it's easier to keep some of these personal favorites with you. In case you don't want to really eat much, at least you have something that you can look forward to, and hopefully that'll give you some extra energy that you may need. So do take some personal snacks. Don't do an overkill, but do take some that are your favorites. All right, next is obviously your gear, whether you take a GoPro, camera, chargers. Remember, there are no chargers on Kilimanjaro. So you want to make sure you have all your equipment fully charged before you go. Maybe have a solar charger if you want, or extra batteries. But whatever equipment you're going to take, make sure it's well protected. Keep it warm during the hike so your battery stays well charged. And next, we're going to be talking about medicine. What are you going to need for Tanzania in general? And then, of course, what are your personal requirements? For Tanzania, you may need yellow fever vaccine. It's a good idea to have it. For sure, you will need anti-malaria medicine. Make sure that you go to your doctor and that you speak to them, and they will tell you what you can use. There are some malaria medicines that have stronger side effects than others. So if you go in a low season, you can take something milder. And if you're going in a high season, you might have to take something that is a little bit stronger. Once you're up in the mountain beyond, I think, 2,000 meters or even well below that, you don't need to take it anymore because there are no mosquitoes up there. There is also the controversial Diamox. And some people say it doesn't really help. Some others say it does. Talk to your physician, see what they say. Maybe you have personal experience. I personally learned to take Diamox because I got very sick on Kilimanjaro. I had to come down, and I don't want the same thing to happen to me again. I have taken Diamox when I went to Everest Base Camp. It helped me. It doesn't help it's not foolproof, but it did help me. And it does make you urinate very frequently, which is okay with me as long as I don't get too much altitude sickness up on the mountain. But Diamox is definitely something that you should at least, I think, study and explore and see if it's a good option for you. Then, of course, I also have Imodium in case I eat something bad. I have some energy pills that I need in case I get sick. My doctor also prescribed me an antibiotic in case I get a very bad viral infection from food or something, or from the water up there. That's just in case. And then of course you can take your Excedrin or Advil or whatever the case might be that you need. I take a small soap in case they don't have anything to wash my hands. And then I have a essential hand sanitizer spray with me here and an aerosol spray that I only take now because of COVID-19, and this disinfects. This is like a small Lysol that I'm taking with me for the tent more than anything, just to have, you know, we're living in a crazy world now with COVID-19, so I want to make sure I have this. And then I have my recovery drinks. And finally, I have some Tiger Balm in case I have some very bad muscle ache. And in case you get blisters, I have some medicine for blisters. Very, very important. Although I tell you a trick, my baby powder, okay, I put baby powder in my shoes every morning. It keeps the moisture away from my skin. And I also use baby powder in my private areas on my body. Baby powder is, I would say, extremely important to take on your climb to Kilimanjaro. Last but not least, sunscreen. Make sure you have a very good sunscreen. You don't want to get burned up there. The sun is so powerful up in altitude that you get burned like this. So make sure you have sunscreen packed with you. So this is the complete gear list that I have for you to climb Kilimanjaro. And hopefully I did not forget anything. I hope this gear list helped you prepare yourself for your trip to Kilimanjaro. If I forgot something, please let me know in the comment section below. And I'm also putting the entire list in the description so you can utilize it as a checklist for yourself. I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, please give me a big thumbs up. I hope you will subscribe. And don't forget to watch my other Kilimanjaro videos. I'll see you soon.